At only 4,955 pounds, the 233S Rockwood Roo here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan is one tricked-out triple hybrid travel trailer. You can spot the new MORryde steps, which at the time of this filming, those are brand new. This has a wave of updates that were just applied to it, and this is sharp. These guys continue to just be more and more sharp and modern and current with their appointments, decors, and amenities. I like to try to offer people a look at things with the slide closed here in travel mode. And in a hybrid, I think that's almost more important than in a lot of other RVs. You know, a lot of RVs have slides, but not a lot of other RVs have the hybrid bed thing to kind of consider, and that's kind of one of the cool things about the 233. When you're in transit, if you want to drop this little sofa down and the U-dinette down into sleepers, like if you pull in at night and it's raining or something like that, or you just don't want to monkey with the beds when you're traveling, well, you don't really have to, depending on the size of the family traveling with you, obviously. Now, we're going to talk all about the new decor that we're looking at here as we go, but just a quick pass-through with the slides closed and the beds all shut down, and let's open her up and see how she's intended to be used. One of the things that really separates Rockwood from so many other brands is just the fact that, especially in a hybrid camper, they're just willing to go further. They're willing to go all the way and do more things. This is not the least expensive hybrid you can find, guys, but this is hands down one of the best equipped and best service record hybrid campers we've ever seen, so quality goes along with that. As we go, there's going to be a lot of things that I point out here that are not common to the hybrid business, and that's what's kind of cool about Rockwood. They don't build their hybrids differently from the rest of their campers. In point of fact, a Rockwood Roo and a Minilite are effectively the same camper. One is just a hybrid version of the other. So you might have noticed, compared to previous Rockwoods, as I mentioned at the beginning of this filming, brand new decor. They have new wood tones, new flooring, new fabric tones. Everything has been updated and changed, and it has such a sharp, high contrast, very rich, classy quality to it. But the other thing is, like, even if you just touch the seating on their dinette, it's got a lot thicker, heavier quality feel to it, and just even the feel quality, the touch quality of everything in here has a nice application to it. So remember that the one that we have in stock could look very different from this, but actually be equipped the same way, because Rockwood does give you so many decor options. Man, where do I even begin in here? Let's start from the top, because I don't want to miss anything. I want to start working my way down. Not only are they using higher intensity lights, but they're using more of them. And you might notice they're also using the same double-ducted, two-run air conditioning system here that they use in their other big travel trailers and even the Rockwood's signature fifth wheels. And that's really kind of the cool calling card of Rockwood, is that basically everything they built is built the same way. So this is an all-aluminum structure. It is 5-sided laminated. We have a 2.5-inch vaulted ceiling up here. Now we've got a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking running on aluminum studs that are set every 12 inches on center. So this has the same kind of heavy-duty floor construction as like luxury fifth wheels. It's way overbuilt, but think about it, guys. If you want a good house, you start with a good foundation. So they built themselves with a stronger floor, and I think that's one of the reasons that their quality records, although always good, have really improved in the last year or two, because they have a stronger base under them. Now, wide open living space like this is not something hybrids are really known for, but it's probably one of the reasons why the 233S Rockwood is one of the very best selling hybrid campers we've ever had here at Haylett RV, and that margin actually continues to grow. This thing is more popular now than ever. So a big, deep, full 3-foot slide out with a full 84-inch U-dinette right here gives us that extra seating space and living space for the family. Now you can see that the table's elliptical and fully free floating. So if you want to wiggle that around, you want to take it outside for picnic time, you can do that. And if we take a look, you can clearly see how that dinette folds down into a sleeper. Obviously the sofa folds over into a sleeper as well, but if you pay real close attention, you see that it's not a traditional jackknife. It's actually a rollover sleeper sofa with an extra support leg. And what that creates is that when that leg's down, it's one of the most sturdy, stable things that an adult can actually sleep on. So that's not all bad. Now below the sofa, you'll actually find a measure of inside and outside storage. It can kind of split the difference between the two. Additionally, there is almost like a storage chest under that front hybrid bed right there. The little utility stand over here on the side is really designed to be something of like a CPAP or phone charger station for the front bed. And before I get there, what I also want to point out is you have not one, but two of these bigger MaxxAir vent fans with the roof vent cover standard on all Rockwood roofs. It gives you that extra airflow that you're going to want. And speaking of airflow, you also have one of these bunk and bed fan light combination jobs for however many hybrid beds that the Roo you're looking at tends to have. So this has 3, so it includes 3 of these things right here. And all of the beds are going to include the handy little additional sort of cargo hammocks with the handy little utility holder pocket station up there. And it's these kind of little extras that really separate Rockwood from everybody else. Can you add these fans aftermarket to a vent? Sure, but you're going to have to pay for it. Now Rockwood has done it, and because they've done it from the factory level with their massive bulk purchasing power, they've done it a lot cheaper than any dealer, myself included, could possibly ever do. And because they installed it, they back it up with their warranty, and that's something I like. I like when there's less hands in the honeypot. Then they include all the extra little things that you're seeing right here. Are any of these a make or break thing, like the bunk fan lights, the extra little cargo hammock jobs? No. I mean, that's not going to stop you from camping, but it is one of those things that you're really going to appreciate having, kind of like heated or ventilated seats in a car. It's the stuff that you miss if it wasn't there, you know? The bed ends on these are rated for 1,050 pounds. They are incredibly heavy duty, with the idea that if people are bouncing or kids are jouncing around on these things at night, they're not going to wear out. And all Rockwood hybrids have heated bed mats, so that if you are going to spring or fall camp, you're not going to have teeth chattering at night keeping you up, which is kind of nice. You might see too that whether it's the Dinette or above that sofa here, we have cross breeze windows for some excellent airflow. Now over here, the kitchen area, it does not seem terribly impressive at first glance, but you know, really, to fully appreciate the kitchen, you gotta open the thing up. Now, rarely are you going to jump into a hybrid camper and say, boy howdy, look at that big awesome kitchen. But that being said, for no larger than this kitchen is, one, it's got some slick eye appeal. Look at that oven. Just even the oven in this has been touched and dressed and pressed. Everything this looks good. Plus, that's a bigger 22-inch oven, by the way, versus the smaller 16-inch oven. So even if you're going to use it for storage, it's bigger. And then down below, you see that they don't waste anything in these Rockwoods. They open everything they possibly can up for storage. And that includes also under the sink area. They gave you maximum potential storage capacity there. And I do like how they include that little portable like utensil organizer in that drawer. Now, for prep space, normally you wouldn't really have much because almost every square inch of the countertop is used by an oven and a sink. However, by using a standard solid surface countertop here in this Rockwood kitchen, they're able to give you this tempered glass flush mount stove cover, and they've recently updated to stainless sinks in the mini lights and the Roos, so that you've got nicer kitchen hardware here. Plus, with that split sink cover, you don't have to wrestle with that one-piece sink cover they used to use. By the way, if you have one of those old one-piece sink covers and it drives you crazy, like I know a lot of people did, that's why they changed to this, give us a call because this is the exact same size. We can order you that part and have it sent to your house. Now up top here, they didn't shrink back that overhead cabinet. It is the same depth as the microwave. And then over here, we've got about a 6.5 foot tall floor to ceiling pantry to give us, you know, every square ounce of space that we possibly could. And that is set right across from the refrigerator over here, and it has the easy open one-hand handle latch type system. And this throws a lot of people off. There's actually a lot of intelligence that went into this, because people will come in and they touch it and they see that. They see the wiggle and they have a heart attack. That is by intention, because rarely do people grab the handle and very carefully open it straight up. Especially kids, they walk up and they slap the handle and they reef on it like that. It is made with that tension and allowance in mind so that you don't beat this thing up and wear it down over time, especially in a hybrid camper like this where you probably have a lot of kids. So from there, swinging around, we come to our entertainment center. Now, the TV here, obviously it has a swing arm, so it can face anywhere in the living area or the front bed very easily. But what's also cool is the entire swing arm actually dismounts, and you'll find a matching mount outside where you can have one TV that can service two different areas of the RV. Now, a lot of other brands have finally started catching up to what Rockwood's been doing for years with their superior chipsets they're using on their entertainment centers. So this is app enabled, first of all. You can get the IRV app on your phone. You can control that stereo basically anywhere from your campsite, anywhere that you're really going to reasonably hear the speakers. They have something like a 30-yard range. It's actually very impressive. But additionally, this is very friendly to expanding your entertainment. So it's Bluetooth, it's DVD, it's a stereo, but it is ready for HD inputs, specifically things like Roku or Chromecast sticks, and that's why they have a 5-volt charging plug right there to be able to plug those devices in and keep them charged. Now your slide side window, well, all the windows are going to have night shades. Your slide side windows do open for airflow. I simply want to pull one of those shades down because I've had a habit of forgetting to talk about those things. So we talked about how that is the bigger dinette and how it's in a full 3-foot deep slide. But one of the things that's really cool is that what you can't see. Any furniture that Rockwood builds, like their dinettes, anything they build basically has a full aluminum skeleton. And now, that over there is a drawer, whereas this right here is a cabinet door. And the reason they do that is because if you have big, bulky, heavy stuff, you don't want to put it in a drawer where you could wear out roller glides. If you have small, little, loose stuff, that drawer is nice to be able to get to it, especially if somebody's sitting on the dinette table. Now, you can lift the dinette base to get to everything, but you don't have to. And you're thinking, yeah, but what about the rear bench? Well, you could get to it from the inside, but the other thing you can do, Rockwood is kind enough to spend a little extra money and include an outside baggage door to be able to get to that at chest level instead of being on your hands and knees to be able to get to it. Just the extra handy little stuff that they do. I'm telling you, that's like the sharpest looking oven I've ever seen in a camper. And here it is in this little hybrid job. So over here, this is what's kind of cool about this one is the way that you can really kind of expand your sleeping capacity. Now, if you've got 1 or 2 kids or 3 or 4 kids, they can all be back here, and what's neat is you can just sort of close it off at night, and everyone has their own little privacy space. But it's also nice for smaller families, like I said, like 1 or 2 kid families, because you could really use one bed for cargo, you can use one bed for a kid, or what you can kind of do is if the kids are allowed to bring friends, they each kind of have their own little hangout party space. And you'll see that, again, all the bed ends, they will include that bunk light fan, the extra little cargo netting right here with the little organizer pocket. They do the same thing everywhere, every time, all the way through. Now, if we direct our attention below, this is kind of what I mean by in the front of the camper where I said it has a cargo sort of chest below. If we open up these cabinet doors, you can see that there's a lot of extra storage down there that's useful for like duffel bags and getting stuff out of the way without really, eating up a lot of visible space. Now, depending on how kind of a parent you are or how many guests or whoever you have coming, there's actually even TV hookups back here. So if you're really, really interested, you can actually mount a TV on this right here. Now, obviously, you're going to want to leave the curtain slid that direction to do it, but you can have like a front and rear entertainment zone going on. Throws a lot of people off that they don't run the door all the way to the ceiling. There's a lot of reasons for that. One of them, again, are these bigger vent fans that you see in here so that you can really get some excellent airflow rolling through this thing all the time. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I feel wholeheartedly that Rockwood has, pound for pound, about one of the best bathroom arrangements you're ever going to see. Like you saw the, first of all, let's get zeroed in on this big linen cabinet behind the toilet. Small camper, but it still has room for towels in the bathroom, so you don't have to go, somebody bring me a towel, Dad forgot one, please. Now over here, we've got a big, nice radius corner shower for mom and dad, or the bigger kids, so you actually have elbow room in this thing. And again, the handy little extra things they do, like the little shower caddy organizer here, because these little plastic shells, they are not going to keep a bottle of shampoo on there with kids coming and going all day. Now, this is something that some folks might be familiar with from the Rockwood GeoPro line. They decided to expand things. This is called the Shower Miser. Long story short, if you're dry camping, when you take a shower, you want to sip the water tank, and you can turn it off here, but what you can do also, the little shower miser, if you flip this knob, it will recycle the water back into your freshwater holding tank so that you're not wasting any sort of water anywhere. And you don't have to turn it off and on and readjust your temperature settings, which is wasting water the whole time. The one note, guys, you do not use this when you're hooked up to park power or park water, because you could, if you do it long enough, flood your freshwater holding tank. Now with a laminated roof, which they have up here, you can pound all over Rockwood roofing. You're never going to hurt anything. It's like one of the most solid roofs I've ever walked on, which, by the way, these all have walkable roofing. When you have a laminated roof, you don't need cross members every 12 to 16 inches on center. Laminated construction works differently. So what that allows them to do is put shower skylights at really funky, like 45-degree angles like this. When you're walking on the roof, it looks weird, but what it creates is the extra headroom in here for even a tall guy like me to be able to get around this thing, no problem. Now, to just kind of quick finish up the bathroom, it's simple, but they include a full vanity, not just a little mirror, you know, an actual medicine cabinet. And they put big adult-sized sinks in here so that mom and dad can actually get their hands in. It's not the little grandkid-sized sink, as it were. Then again, the little detail stuff, like they actually include towel hanging racks, and they are smart enough to mount them up high enough so that the towel's not draping into the sink. The little soap and toothbrush holders to maximize your functional counter space without other stuff eating it up. It's all the fine little details that really seal this one for me. Now, obviously, it's got a very attractive look. Now, this has the woodwork upgrade, where we have upgraded this to full hardwood raised panel cabinet doors, and all that stuff is very aesthetically pleasing. But it's the day-to-day use and function improvements on the Rockwood roofs that really separate them from everybody else. Now, compared to the interior, which has some very obvious decor changes compared to previous generations, most of what you see outside looks pretty darn similar to years previous. Well, you got to look a little bit closer. Now, the champagne skin that we're looking at used to be optional. It's how we used to build all the Rockwoods here at Haylett RV, short of special request, which, by the way, if you're looking at this video or any of our Rockwoods and you like it, but you want it a different color or with different factory equipment, call us. We'll make that happen. That's not a big deal, guys. We're not saying this is the only way you have to take it. This is just how we found the majority of people that work with us tend to like it. So the champagne skin is now standard, so obviously we had a good look here, but the trim has changed. It gives it almost this, I don't know, I don't want to say charcoal or graphite, but a very contrasting trim and skirt here gives it a very good sharp look. I don't know, as soon as I saw this thing, I instantly went, oh, man, that looks nice. Now, the other obvious thing outside is the update to the MORryde steps with the adjustable foot pegs here. They started out in Montana and Fusion fifth wheels. That's the first place you saw them in the entire industry. They were there for a year, and everybody else went, dang it, those are sharp. And then they started rolling out, like on our Cherokees and our Rockwood Geo Pros. This is actually the first time Rockwood used them, and they were so darn popular in that little camper segment, Rockwood went, you know what, it's going to be a couple extra bucks, but we got to put them in. And that's such a good example of who and what Rockwood RVs are. They are not intended to be the dollar cheapest thing. This is intended to be the best equipped thing you're ever going to find in this class and category. That's who they are. And that's one of the reasons that I often say Rockwood is generally synonymous with retirement grade. When people are looking to buy their last camper ever, you know, unless you're looking for a giant fifth wheel, Rockwood should definitely be one of those contenders on that list, because they have that quality, that amenity level, that if you're going to spend extra time in it, you're going to like what you get here. Now, one of the things they did very well is something that you're not looking at currently, and that is the awning. So another one of those Rockwood doing Rockwood things is just the way that they put a maximum size patio awning on here. If you take a look, they put that awning pretty much as far back and forward as they possibly could to give you maximum coverage. And with no slides or beds or anything on the door side to kind of mess with it, you're going to have more room here for picnic tables and lawn chairs and all that good stuff. Not to mention the fact that you've also got just a tailgate dream station over here where the TV inside can dismount. It can remount on the little bracket you see up there, and you have your little side mount grill station on the side. So whether it's cooking, TV, or just hanging out, this one's got you covered. Now, those awning arms that we were looking at there, they do like tilt down and lock in place. It does have a full-length LED light at the base. A couple other things here by the door, and this is stuff that Rockwood's been doing for years, but this anti-slam entry door, so that the door doesn't smash into anything even when you fling it like I just did right there. It barely closes itself. And by the way, at the bottom and top of those hinges, those are adjustable set screws. So if you want to make that tighter or less tight, you can. So the bigger handle makes coming and going easy. You see that we've got frameless windows standard on Rockwoods, except for slide sides, and those are going to be sliding windows for airflow reasons. What's cool about the frameless windows is, one, they just look slick. They look good. But it also hides the seal under the UV tinted paint. Now, the one hiccup with these is when they open, they don't open as far. They only open about that far, so in theory you get less airflow. That's another reason this has those double max air vent fans, to overcome that what could be, deficiency. So we've got magnet catches on all the baggage doors for just easy access and operation. That's the storage under the sofa that I mentioned. Simple little solar plug on the side right there. But I like how it's mounted in the skirt, so that it's down low next to that solar suitcase. It blows me away how many RVs have a solar prep plug, but it's up like 5 feet tall on the camper. That's stupid and doesn't make any sense. So our bed ends here, it's not canvas anymore, but we still use that word just for simplicity's sake and ease of communication, because if you don't understand what I'm talking about, then this is all for naught. But the canvas bed ends on this canvas have 5-year guarantees on the material itself, so that's the most I've seen from any manufacturer, and there's several other brands that use a similar material, like the Jaycos we carry here, but Rockwood is just the largest producer of hybrids. They're using the best material here. And another thing that I like is it is all C-channeled in place. You don't have to open the bed and then pull the skirting down and like Velcro it in place. It's just there. All you do is drop the bed and put up the shepherd's hook, and you're done. Rockwood was the first manufacturer that went to these chest level hybrid bed locks right here, and what's neat is they use a very like common key that it's very easy for you to be able to access this. You don't have to like dig around your key ring for 5 or 6 different keys to find the key that operates this. This key also operates other things on the camper, so that's simple. But you can see how by latching it at the top, they're maintaining better sealing on the door, but they're giving you access to that latch down here, which is just much, much smarter. All of the lights, whether it's inside, outside, tail, or clearance, or marker lights, or whatever, they're all longer-lasting LED bulbs. They're brighter, they're safer, longer-lasting, they're awesome. Laminated slide walls right here, kind of like the roof. This has, more lamination in place than virtually any other product. The idea there being to keep the weight down, the structure up, and when the slide walls are laminated, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, they're insulated, they're structural, they're there to get the job done. So as we looked at the Dinette inside, I mentioned how they give you a baggage door outside, so that you don't have to be on your hands and knees to get to the storage. But what's cool is it also allows you to put some big tote stuff out here, and another thing hybrids aren't really known for is good outside storage. So this is an incredibly valuable space right here. Now, the triple hybrid bed end thing, you don't necessarily need to use all 3 beds. They're just kind of there if you need them. They can be good for cargo, for people and sleeping, obviously, but you can really kind of expand or contract this RV's size on the fly on an individual trip basis. It really customizes to your needs. Now, one thing that's very different here on these Rockwoods is their suspension system. They don't use the wide stance axles. Not that there's anything wrong with wide stance axles, they have their own benefits, but Rockwood uses what you could very easily argue to be a superior suspension system, but it comes at the cost of additional dollars. It's a 4-wheel independent torsion axle and suspension system. And if you don't know what those words mean, long story short, guys, the axles are not leaf sprung, whatever, together. And they can all operate independently for smoother riding down the road, so the trailer bounces and jounces less behind the vehicle. The other really clutch key difference in the way that this suspension works is it transfers stress from high to low, not from low to high like a leaf spring. And what that means in English is when you're going around one of those really sharp curly Q exits on the highway, this trailer, instead of trying to lean off the road, it will actually try to lean itself back to flat. So this thing will corner at highway speeds like it's on rails, and that is a big difference between this. Now you do have your outside shower here. You've even got an antifreeze inlet on this, so you don't even have to take jugs of antifreeze inside the RV when it is winterization time, when you're ready to give the old girl the old pink drink of death. Even the spare tire cover on this, it's a hard shell spare tire cover as opposed to just like a slip cover. Some brands don't even give you any cover for the spare tire so that the sun eats it up. And that's the last thing you want. You don't want a flat tire. And then you really don't want the flat tire to be wore out from the sun before you even put it on to replace the bad tire that whatever else happened to it. So the hard shell cover, that makes a difference, you know. Again, we got the dual max air vent fan covers above the bathroom and the living room vents so that you get that anytime airflow. And you might be able to see, if I zoom in up here, the couple little antennas for the Wi-Fi Ranger. And what that is, this thing basically has a built-in router, so that it's easier to hook up to park Wi-Fi or mobile Wi-Fi. Like if you pull into a filling station, they have open Wi-Fi or something like that. You have your phone synced to the Wi-Fi Ranger. As soon as it gets any signal, all of your devices hook to the Wi-Fi Ranger automatically, so you don't have to re-sync stuff every time you move around. The black tank flush on this one is on the door side, which throws a lot of folks off. The reason being, because this is the bathroom right here, that is the most direct, effective method of getting the black tank flush to work on the black tank. And why do you have a black tank flush if it's not going to do its job? So this is the best location for that from a function standpoint. And if there's one thing you need out of a black tank flush, it's proper function. So this is the TV from inside. Like I said, it can easily float outdoors. The whole swing arm and everything dismounts and remounts out here. So you can always have it facing toward your campsite and picnic table. And they go with a nicer galvanized rolled steel little utility removable shelf right here. And you see how it's got that extra space beside it. That's where the RVQ grill that comes with all the Rockwood roofs is going to be located. So you've got a side mount grill connect here. And the reason I kind of like that side mount is because it's located up away from road debris, away from anything that these tires could throw at it. It's in here in a protected location, and there's your plugs for your outside TV. I think we pretty much got her, guys. I think we pretty much got her. This is sharp, it is classy, it is jazzy looking, it is jazzy feeling and equipped. If you're looking for the last camper you want to own, again, Rockwood should be a brand that should be on that list, especially in small campers. They have been. They're not just the #1 selling brand of laminated trailer. They have been the #1 laminated trailer and ultralight since before I was even in this business. They get the job done. It's easy to get on top. It's a lot harder to stay there, especially for that long. So, if you're interested, give us a call. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. Oh, by the way, we don't do hidden dealer fees. We'll leave that to someone else.